Hello guys, today we're going to talk about part 2 of Chillogy, which has been called Three Strikes You're Doomed. I know, it's cheesy. This episode aired on May 2nd, 1998. It has a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb with about 100-ish user votes. And if you want to know about who stars and who acts, I suggest watching part 1. Part 2 takes on a much more cheesy taste of it. I don't know if it's as scary as part 1. It isn't really, but I guess it is what it is with it. It has a baseball theme. I don't really know what the lesson is other than you gotta try, I guess, and not quit. I don't know. There's not much of a morale to this part. This is kind of the middle of the trilogy, and I would say it's probably the weakest of the three, just because it's almost filler. It's just kind of there for characters to kind of relate to each other and experience. Alright, but this is really the episode that the guy who plays the villain, this is where he shows off his stuff. He's kind of one of those villains that kind of fucks around with the hero a bit, kind of plays all these different characters and kind of makes fun of cliches and stuff. He kind of does a lot of that in this episode. He shows off kind of his acting range, and it's pretty solid, and I give the guy credit. He's really giving a fuck with this performance, and that's really the thing with it. And I think the biggest thing with this episode is that it's not really intense. It's really more cheese than intense, which I don't mind cheese, but considering how the first episode got started off, I would have preferred if this one somehow tried to kind of keep that mood going. But that's really it. Should you skip it? No, because the three-parter is very well connected, and while part 2 isn't as strong as part 1 and probably part 3, it's part of the story. So definitely watch it, and you may like it for reasons you probably shouldn't like it, but acting wise, it continues the streak. The score's fine. It takes the baseball. The baseball theme. It's baseball theme. It's very obvious. It kind of takes a little control over the score, which kind of makes it cheesy, and I don't know. It's fine, but it works. It's fine. Acting's still strong. Special effects are pretty good. They use a little bit of CGI, more CGI in this episode, and not a lot. Well, they do use a couple practical stuff, and I do applaud them for that. But the CGI is a bit much. Overall, though, it's fine. It's not the worst Goosebumps episode by any means. And it's kind of hard to say that because it's part of a trilogy. It's really the only Goosebumps trilogy right here. So it's kind of hard. It's a little different in comparing and contrasting because it's part of the story, but it's kind of in the middle. There's not really a beginning or a conclusion. Well, there kind of is, because it's more focused on one character that appeared in part 1, and it's all ties in together. So I applaud them for that. It's more complex storytelling. It's definitely something you need to watch consecutively. You can't watch them out of order, really. And I can say that about any of the multiple parts. But yeah, overall, fine. Check it out. If you're watching part 1, don't skip it. You can't skip part 2. Even if you end up not really caring for part 2, you can't really skip it. But is it as good as part 1? No, but it's fine. But yeah, check this out when you're watching part 1. Definitely watch part 2. And overall, the goodness of part 1 kind of continues in part 2 with the change of tone really kind of throws it off a bit. But stay tuned tomorrow. We'll talk about part 3, and part 3 is when everything kind of gets back to part 1 level of good. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos. And like I said, tune in tomorrow. We'll talk about part 3 and the overall trilogy of itself. And yeah, thanks for watching and have a good day.